As we wrap up lesson 27, I want to come back and let's go over decimals on a number line. We will sometimes have to place decimals on a number line or identify decimals on a number line. So I'm going to pause a minute and label this number line. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so the first thing I did is I counted how many spaces were between 0 and 1, and there were 10 spaces. So I knew to label this number line by tenths. I decided to put fractions on top just to show how they match up to the decimals. And on the bottom, I knew they would count as 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, and so on. And I want to call your attention, look at where 59 hundredths comes. It comes right before 6/10. And that would be, if 6/10 were hundredths, it would be 60 hundredths. So that makes sense. And then 8/10 is written right here. Okay, let's try practicing with a number line one more time. This question says Jana writes two numbers that are between 4/10 and 45 hundredths on the board. What numbers could Jana write? So I decided a number line would be helpful to find the decimals between 4/10 and 45 hundredths. I decided to draw my number line just from 4/10 to 5/10 because I knew 45 hundredths would come in between. I'm not sure this is making sense, so let me show you something. If I add a 0 right here and a 0 right here, these are still equivalent decimals, but now we can think of this as 40 hundredths and 50 hundredths. So maybe that makes a little more sense about why 45 hundredths is coming in halfway in between. And now to find the two numbers that Jana could have written, I have labeled what would come in between 40 hundredths and 45 hundredths. I knew that would be 41, 42, 43, 44. Okay, so really Jana could have written any one of those numbers. They would all come in between 4/10 and 45 hundredths.